Hey, my name is Shakiel Mahjouri, and I talked to a bunch of pro MMA fighters to get their take on UFC 241's heavyweight title rematch between Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic. Enjoy. First up, we have top-ranked bantamweight title challenger Aljamain Sterling.
That's a tough fight to say because I felt like it was super competitive. I felt Stipe had his moments in the first one. I think DC exploited something in the clinch, which a lot of guys do when they disengage from the clinches or any type of takedown attempt. They seem to always have their hands down, and DC swung that bat and he connected and hit the home run pitch. So knocked it out of the park. So I don't know if Stipe would make the same mistake twice, but I think when a guy beats you like that, sometimes it's hard to recover from. But then again, you never know. Joanna versus Rose had a completely different rematch compared to the first outing, and so that's a very interesting matchup.
Next is UFC 240's co-main eventer Felicia Spencer.
I'm going to go with Miocic on that one. I really like Stipe. Not that I don't like DC, but I really like what he represents. And I really think he got caught in, it's part of fighting, but I think he's more than capable of being one of the best heavyweights of all time. So,
Brazilian powerhouse Vicente Luque.
That's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be like the first one. I think it's going to be a little longer, Miocic is going to be ready for what Daniel brings, and he has got really good boxing, really good head movement. So I think he's going to avoid that pressure in the beginning. But I still think Cormier is going to get the win in the later rounds, start wrestling, and maybe, finish him in the third.
Introducing featherweight bruiser Josh Emmett.
Kind of going towards Cormier. He beat him before. Cormier he's undefeated at heavyweight, right? His only losses are to John Jones, and Daniel Cormier cuts a lot of weight. I fought on a card with him, and I saw him all fight week and stuff, and I feel like him and I are almost on the same playing field. Like every time fight week, I'm in the locker room or whatever you want to call it, the workout room. I'm in there for a 3-hour session in plastics in the afternoon and at night and doing stuff. And he was always in there every time I was in there. Other than that, fighters just come in, they roll for like 15 minutes, 45 minutes, check their weight, and so he cuts a lot of weight. So I think that did affect him. But he's a phenomenal fighter, great wrestler. He has great boxing. He has a tremendous amount of power. And he beat Stipe already. Stipe is a great guy. He's a big physical guy, a good boxer. So, he could win. He could beat Daniel Cormier if he caught him with a good one and knocked him out. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division. But I feel like Cormier is just, he's been nothing but a champion, one of the top competitors his entire life. So I'm going with the champ, Daniel Cormier.
A veteran of the fight game, Ricardo Lamas.
Oh, man. I don't know. In the last fight, I heard Daniel Cormier saying that, he took some solid punches from Stipe, and they didn't hurt him at all. So Stipe's either got to mix it up and surprise him with something new, or I think the fight's going to go down the same way. Cormier.
Introducing Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman.
That's a hard one to pick, man, because I like both of those guys. That's tough. I think Stipe is going to get him this time, and then they're going to fight again for a trilogy. I think Stipe is going to win by TKO this time. I don't know what round, but it'll set up a good trilogy, though.
The always smiling Sam Alvey.
Daniel Cormier versus Miocic. Did I say it right? I'm pulling for DC again. I thought DC was going to lose the first one, and he made me just a real believer. I have so much fun watching him fight every time. I would like to see him win, and then right off into the sunset, one of the greatest ever.
Tiger Schulman's Jimmie Rivera.
I got Stipe. I think Stipe is going to pull it out. I just think he's, he didn't fight smart. He went in there, and I think he might even took DC lightly, and I don't think it's going to be happen this time around. And I think he was unsuspected. DC went in there throwing, then wrestling. You know what I mean? He wrestled, obviously, but he went in there just throwing his hands, and it's cool to see DC do that. And when people underestimate that he has hands, I don't think he's going to underestimate him this time, though.
Next is Marine Corps veteran Kyle Stewart.
I want to see DC win. All right, who do I think will win? I think DC wins, honestly. I think DC wins. And that was his first fight at heavyweight his first fight back at heavyweight when he beat him. Now he's been carrying around the weight a little bit more. He's bigger. I think, when you change weight classes, it takes a minute to grow into that. I think I think him, because he's fought heavyweight before. Now he's back at heavyweight. I think he showed how much power he has in there. If he's able to stay inside like he did out of the clinch and crack them, I think he's going to be a problem for Stipe. Stipe's coming in motivated, though. He wants his belt back. I don't know. I'm giving it to DC.
And last but not least, Damir Hadzovic.
Oh, that's a strong one. Yeah, first I thought Stipe was going to get him because he was too big for Daniel. He knocked him out. I'm like, whoa. But again, I don't know. Maybe Stipe learned his lesson. That's a really tough one. I want to say Stipe again, but Cormier, he surprised me. So I'll keep that a draw.